And hello there, RosterWatch Nation. It's your friendly neighborhood trash man with your weekly waiver wire cheat sheet info. Let's go ahead and get started. First off, we have running backs highest on the priority list this week is Mark Ingram from the Saints. Ingram, we saw close to double-digit touches this last week. The Saints leaned a lot on the run with Trevor Siemian under center and Taysom Hill a little bit under center, but it was mostly Trevor Siemian, which means that it's unlikely, well, it's less likely that Taysom Hill will get under center at the goal line. And so we have more chances for Ingram to score potentially. He actually got more receptions than Alvin Kamara this past week, I believe, too. So he's going to stay involved in this offense, maybe get even more involved, as he gets more comfortable with the offense. In any case, Ingram needs to be owned as he can be flexed in a lot of formats right now. Behind him, I have the likes of Devontae Freeman in Baltimore. He seems like the most viable running back there right now. Behind him, I have D'Ernest Johnson in Cleveland, filling in, at least for the time being, for Kareem Hunt. Underneath them in the next tier down, I have the likes of Ramondre Stevenson in New England, just in case that Damian Harris cannot go this week or is a little bit banged up when he is in the game. I think Ramondre Stevenson's some good insurance to have this week. Behind him, I have Jordan Howard of the Eagles. He just gets more and more involved in this offense the longer he's there. He hasn't been there that long, but until Miles Sanders gets back, I think Jordan Howard is basically their goal line short yardage back, and he's going to get double-digit touches on most weeks that Miles Sanders is not there. Behind him, I have some more guys. You're going to have to come to RosterWatch.com to check out and see who they are. At the wide receiver position, at the top of the list, I have Rashad Bateman of Baltimore. He stays involved in the offense, averaging around 8 targets a game. Sammy Watkins, even if he does come back this week, I think Bateman will stay involved. I think he's a more dynamic player than Sammy Watkins at this point in their careers. I'm right behind him. I have Darnell Mooney of the Bears, scored 2 touchdowns on Monday night as Justin Fields starts to get more comfortable under center there for the Bears. Darnell Mooney is the number 1 receiver for Chicago, whether we like it or not. Right behind him, I have Brandon Nyuk of the 49ers. It seems like he's out of whatever doghouse he was in prior to coming into the season. He's getting more and more involved each week, even with George Kittle coming back into the mix. Brandon Nyuk had a nice 80-something yard game this past week. Behind him, I have the likes of Van Jefferson of the Rams, who is their number 3 receiver and, more importantly, their deep threat there for the Rams. So if Matthew Stafford does decide to open it up, I think it'll be Van Jefferson getting the majority of those deep passes there for the Rams. Behind him, some guys I want to touch on. Elijah Moore starting to get more and more action there for the Jets. As long as Zach Wilson is not under center, I think Elijah Moore is a decent flex. Michael Gallup looks like he's going to come back this week, so he's somebody you're going to want to get on your benches just in case. Behind him, Desean Jackson, now of the Las Vegas Raiders. I mean, Derek Carr really isn't a deep ball thrower, but maybe he takes some shots to Desean Jackson. We're going to have to wait and see. But while we wait and see, we want to have Desean Jackson on our benches if they are deep enough to get him there. Some more, actually, a lot of guys there in the wide receiver position on the waiver wire cheat sheet this week. But you're going to have to come to RosterWatch.com to see who those guys are. Tight end, the only tight end that I have, prioritized significantly at all is Logan Thomas of the Washington football team. Looks to be coming back soon. You're going to want to plug him right back in where you left off with him when he does return. The rest of the tight ends I have there, I don't have higher than a 5% priority there. There's the likes of Tyler Conklin, who seems to be pretty consistent there. If you're in PPR, I think Conklin is a decent streamer, although he doesn't really score touchdowns. He does get quite a few targets on a weekly basis. Behind him, we have guys like Cole Kmet, Jeff Swaim, who had good weeks this past week, but they aren't getting quite enough targets to put them up on the upper echelon of tight end waiver wire ads right now. Moving on to quarterbacks, Trey Lance is my number one guy you're going to want to prioritize right now. Jimmy G is not really getting it done there for the 49ers. So you're going to want to get Trey Lance back into at least onto your benches. Behind him, I have Teddy Bridgewater, who just keeps producing somehow. I don't know. I look at his games, I look at his stats, and I'm nonplussed. But then I look at his fantasy turnout, and he's averaging over 20 points a game. So Teddy's he's a safe play, and you want that at the quarterback position. You want some consistency there. Behind him, I have Taylor Heineke for the Washington football team, Trevor Siemian for the Saints, who, he was a little bit maybe beyond game manager last week. I think, maybe if they do add someone like Odell Beckham to the Saints, we've even seen increased, production there for Trevor Siemian. And then I have Mike White down there kind of at the back of the list, just in case he does play this week. I think he's better than Zach Wilson. I think he's probably the best quarterback the Jets have. So hopefully he gets back under center there. Defenses, not many this week. I just have the Titans, the Broncos, and the Packers, with the Titans leading off. They have some playmakers on their team. We saw against the Rams this past week. And then the Denver Broncos, who really kind of shut down the Cowboys for almost like 3.5 quarters there last week. And then the Packers to round it off. Anyway, that's the bulk of the waiver wire cheat sheet going into week 10. There are a lot of other options there you're going to want to check out on RosterWatch.com. Anyway, on behalf of RosterWatch.com, this has been the Trash Man. And until next time, be ready.